Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, well, sort of back to Gamestonk Simulator. Now, I've played this for the channel a while ago, and I actually do have videos pending that I still have to release. But essentially what this game is exactly what it sounds like. It's another simulator where we get to play as a GameStop employee and run a GameStop. Now, the only thing that's really missing from this game is the fact that we could do trade-ins, which that's not in the game yet, but they're going to do that at some point. So, with that said, we're going to go into it, and hell, maybe I'll relive some of my old GameStop stories with you guys. But, let me go ahead and get right into it. Hello, Dark, what is going on, bud? Your Thanksgiving challenge, match your age to plates eat. No, oh god, no, I would die. Could never do it. So, this is a store that I've already... Oh my god, I got hit by a van! This is a store I already started for the channel. Let's see, so... These are basically little upgrades that the van gives us. We can always re-roll. This is what I have for my store so far. And yes, this is a bet. If my customers steal from me, I get to go ahead and crack some skulls. This allows me to repaint the store, which honestly, this doesn't look like a GameStop. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But for now, let's see. I think, do we have any new... We have new furniture... New weapons. We have a rainbow bat. How far can I shove it up somebody's ass and identify like, oh, I got you down to the green. Nick missed it so much he went back to retail. Listen, look, I can't, nope, back to prison. Dark, we don't talk about that. Shh. And yes, one of our weapons is a fucking sandal. Anyway, I can hire employees. I just don't want to pay people right now. How am I looking on inventory? I'll live with it. I'll live with it. Absolutely, Dark. I can legally beat a thief. Or I can just run outside and, you know, randomly assault it. Give me your money! Oh, money. Buy it. You know you want it. You should buy it. Come on. That's right. Go to the register. Go to the register. Okay, can you imagine... received $100. $80 for a handheld? Goddamn.
Wow.
Fuck, I overchanged. I don't want to hurt my store's rating. Where's the... Oh, I'm sorry that we're out of stock. Bitch. Anyway. Dark, how else do you assert dominance in your store? You remind thieves of what happened to the last guy. Fuck! I overchanged again. Give me your change. Give me your money. 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 Give it. Give it. I need it back. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, I'm beaten. Oh jeez. All right, now let's see. Can I underchange you to make up for the loss? No, I can't. Okay. Fine. Exactly, Dark. You better buy something else. Buy it. Get in my store. Go ahead, buy it. Come on. You know you want it. You know you want it. That's right. That's right. Look in this store. Look, I can smell you. Get in there. In. And there are thieves, so I will have to beat them. Dark, that is insulting. My retail skills are amazing. Despite my math skills are a different story. Oh, she just bought my last keyboard.
Wow.
I can always order more shit though, so let me see. Buy one of those and one of these and one of these. There you go. Oh boy, $400 gone. That makes me feel like, oh, it reminds me of my credit card. There we go. And then I'm brain farting right now. But yeah, no, what? Hey, there's a keyboard over here. Why are you mad? I just bought him. Fuck you. Okay. See, he bought a keyboard. But yeah, no, so, okay, what I was going into is there's a reason why I'm not fond of the... Fuck, I gave him more chains than I needed to. There's a reason why I'm like, this doesn't look like a GameStop. First of all, a GameStop would never pay to have LEDs in the walls like this. Never. GameStop didn't even want to pay for repairs. You think they're going to put lights in the walls like that? Nah. That's for one. The other thing too is one common thing about GameStop is if you ever go into a GameStop, they typically have like corkwood walls, right? Now the slots on the wall, like you see how it's kind of like divoted in a way, right? That makes sense for GameStop. That is actually legit. But oh, I have to hit under. I'm stupid. It should be corkwood, and there's a reason for it. Corkwood is first of all cheap as shit, so that's one reason why. Did we get a new release? We got a new oh yeah. Purchase the license. Buy 2 sets of it because I don't know how important this game's gonna be. We don't have a release right now. Okay, so fuck it. I'll leave a spare box in the back. Drop it. But yeah, corkwood is cheap to say the least. I don't have money for that. Fuck that. Anyway, so the idea is like, okay, so like, more often than not, I'd have people breaking my fucking walls, and like, the idea was, all right, it's shitty corkwood. You can take a power drill, drill it back into place, and you're done. And these divots, the purpose of that was so that way you could put in shelves. So you'd always have like these kind of like peg hook shelves that would just slide into the wall. Then at one point, GameStop thought, hey, you know, it'd be a great idea for our individual location, like you know, sections of the store.
Wow.
Let's put a plastic. What? Oh, that might be from me assaulting people. Shh. Anyway, so like, let's put in these plastic covers over the corkwood with different game companies' colors. So like over here would be Nintendo, over here would be PlayStation, this would be Xbox, and this whole wall would be green, this would be red, this would all be blue. But the problem is that those like plastic covers were a serious pain in the ass to work with. For one, trying to get them to cover the wall proper, like putting them into the slots, was just unreasonable to work with. Like you had to fight to get it in. I've cut my hands on them a couple times. And then on top of that, trying to get the shelves to work with it sometimes just would not cooperate. So it didn't always look the best. I get what GameStop was going with, but it was a pain in the ass to work with. And on top of that too, GameStop GameStop does this every year. Resets. So this is PlayStation, this is Xbox, this is Switch. Next year, this will be PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. They do that every year. So remember, if you already have the walls a certain color because of those plastic pieces, you now have to rip them out of the wall and then replace them on the other wall. It was pain. I hated it so much. I hated GameStop for that. Exactly, Dark. Yes, but GameStop never got that message. And they always had this idea of like, oh no, we'll just change it every year. I'm like, why? It's PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch. What more needs to change about the store? Why do we, like, oh, well, I remember correctly. It was because we were renting locations to the companies every year. So it'd be like, oh, cool. So Nintendo bought this for the year. And then next year they bought this. Why? Just renew the license and call it a fucking day. Why are we, like, it was so stupid. I never got that. Like, GameStop had to make it as difficult as possible. So, well, that's the thing, Dark. And that, you know, do shelves go up once? Tech-Nickal. Oh, you're mad that I don't have PlayStation handhelds or... Okay, well, let me see if I can buy any keyboards and handhelds. Because how am I already down the day? What the fuck? But, like, no, so here's the thing. So, the thing with the shelves is, like I said, they were like these little metal things that you just kind of hung on the wall. So, they were very easy to take off and put back down. You know what I mean? Like, they were easy to work with. Once they added the plastic slots to the side of the wall, that's where it got really annoying. But yet, oh wait, 50% innocent, not posing a negative after when being mugged. Oh, I need that. I need that, but I can't afford it right now. Increase your stamina. Don't need that. Again, I can't really afford things right now, so. But, anyway. Like, no, and like, honestly, though, the cork wood, let's see, oh, what'd you say? Right? Imagine Amazon Prime being run by God. You just pay and it fucking drops out of the sky. Simple. Wait, what about cops? You bitch! I saw that! Oh, if only I could do that in real life. You know how many times I've had people steal from my stores and I wanted to beat them? I always said, listen, this is what we should do. We should be permitted to carry paintball guns. That way, when we see somebody running out of the store with about $100 worth of shit, we just nail the fuck out of their backs with paintballs. It's gonna be real easy for the cops to see the guy who's got their whole back painted. Hold on, I don't need that. Anyway, let me see. But, yeah, no, I would have loved to have some kind of way of retaliating against thieves, because that shit was always annoying. Especially when I was an assistant store leader, like, I always got this feeling of, like, it was almost personal because you were taking right from my store, so it did always feel a little personal, honestly. God damn it, it's the tax man! If only I could beat him, too. If I could, I'd beat him with my bat at justice. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, what are these games? So, I don't know what that's supposed to be in reference to, but Halo, Bold Quest, not sure. I feel like that's supposed to be, fuck, what's the name of it? Bloodborne. But yeah, no, I remember with the, oh yeah, let me see, why is, absolutely, Dark, the IRS is coming after us one way or another, man. That's why the Joker always paid his taxes. The IRS is always there. When you least want them, they're there. But, anywho. Like, I remember one time, we're talking about the walls. I know I'm kind of bouncing around. Hey, yeah, that could be Minecraft. Yeah, that could be Minecraft. But, I remember years ago, right, when I was this shift leader. I wasn't even a boss yet. And this little girl was trying to climb on my shelves. So, you know, very politely, I was like, oh, please, don't do that. You know, the walls are weak. They're going to fucking fall, and this kid's going to crack her skull. So I'm like, you know, please don't let your daughter do that. So the father looks at me and goes, oh, it's fine. If she gets hurt, I get a free video game. And I look at it, and I'm like, well, wait, hold on. How do you get a free video game? Please explain that one to me. He goes, well, if I don't, then I sue. And I looked at him, I was like, but, sir, if she falls and gets hurt, she's getting hurt on your watch. So doesn't that make it more a matter of you being a negligent father than our fault? And he just sat there, stared at me for a second, like kind of realizing, like, oh shit, I look like an asshole right now. And he immediately took his daughter and just walked the fuck out of the store. Yeah, I wish I could afford these things. Color discount, that sounds racist. But, yeah, oh yeah, very much, yeah. Charlie, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Dark. Oh, yeah. You son of a bitch! Oh, if only I had a gun. Look, I promise I wouldn't kill them. I would just shoot them in the knee. That way, every time they get up, their knees crack when it rains. They never forget they got shot at GameStop. But, yeah, So, I mean, I know it was a long-ass ramble about fucking corkwood walls, but yeah, this should technically be corkwood, honestly. Other than that, I mean, for what the game is, it is on point for what was to be expected at GameStop. You have that one guy that walks in. Now, granted, one thing that is missing is some of the conversations that you would have with your customers. Like, you would every now and then have one guy walk in and then just be straight up chilling in the back, or just come in and have a conversation, which actually, honestly, that was the one thing I miss from working GameStop. Believe it or not, I miss having conversations with my customers. I miss, you know, I miss some of my customers, honestly. Absolutely, Dark. Only the thieves. They're the only ones that we beat. They're the only ones that deserve it. Now, like, I had, like, a few of my customers, I remember, 2 of them actually are still friends of mine that I keep up with, at least on Steam. So, there's that. I also had, this one woman who we always helped her and her family out, and she was so nice. She always used to buy us coffee. I remember one Thanksgiving, they came to our store late and gave us donuts and everything for Thanksgiving. It was so nice. Really friendly people, but yeah, I've had weird situations, and how did I lose $80? Oh, because this guy didn't. But I can't afford things. Jerk. There's people bitching and moaning. Hey, he didn't have consoles. I don't have money. Buy the controllers, they're new. Oh my god, no, Dark, don't get me started. Don't get me started. The smell? Hold up, because of GameStop, I have rules in regards to the smell. There are 2 types of odors in this world. Son of a bitch. There are 2 types of odors in this world, in my opinion. You have sniper smell and the phantom odor, or the phantom stink. And what the difference is, right? So, I could be chilling right over here in the back of the store, minding my own business. Dude walks in right here, and I will smell you at range. Your ass is so goddamn stinky, the whole store smells you. That you get us all at range. Sniper smell. Then on the other hand, you have that stinky bastard that'll stand right here for like five minutes. Then leave, but even though he leaves, his odor stays behind. The phantom smell. That shit lingers. And it's the real thing. Oh yeah, absolutely, Dark. See, in this world, video game companies aren't douchebags, and the economy's pretty good. Oh, I need keyboards. I keep seeing the weapons tab, and I'm like, I need weapons. But anyway, fuck. The smell lags. Yeah, exactly, Dark. No, and that's not a joke. I've had that on a number of occasions. Now, here's the thing. So, working GameStop, usually, and truth be told, please give out ranks in Discord of the smell. We're kind of... Oh my god. We hand out the ranks in Discord for who's the smelliest. No, usually at GameStop, if you had someone who reeked like asshole, usually I hate to say it, and it's kind of mean to say this, it was usually the kids with like super like special needs. It was usually them, unfortunately. I hate to say that. That is honest to truth. Weirdly enough, it was the exact opposite when it came down to Verizon. When I was working for, well, okay, I used to work for a company called Victra, which was an authorized retailer that sold Verizon services. By the way, fun fact for anybody that needs a job and you're looking to possibly work in retail, don't work for cell phones. Don't work for cell phone companies. They are dog shit. It's miserable. Don't do it. Just save yourself the stress. Anyway, no, so GameStop, it was the special needs kids that smelled, and Verizon, it was the homeless people that smelled. And yeah, we would weirdly enough get homeless people, which is not— Fuck! Fuck, I gave you way too much money! Fuck! Ah,
Oh.
I'm about to be homeless. Fuck. I have 2 days to make $4,000, otherwise the company goes out of business. Fuck.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so pissed right now. It's not even funny. You son of a motherfucker. No, 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 no. I'm gonna get you. Fuck! Oh, that one got away. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, no, Dark. They're miserable. The phone places are miserable to work for. Don't work for wireless. It's just, it's a miserable line of work. So... I like, again, the most I could speak from is Verizon, but I've heard from people working in like T-Mobile and AT&T. It's basically all the same shit. So first of all, and something I can tell you, usually across the board, regardless of what company you work for, business accounts are a nightmare to work with. For some reason, major corporations like, again, AT&T, Verizon, they can't seem to understand that. Like for some, it's like a weird masochistic tendency that if it's a business customer, the system has to be broken. It can't make sense. It has to be as aggravating as possible to work with. Wow. That's for one. The other thing too is that they're very, very sales focused. Very sales focused. So, like my job, I used to work. I was a commission employee, so I had like half of my paycheck was commission. Right? So I'd make $18 an hour, and then anything else after that was commission. But the kick was that how do you sell to people that don't want to buy? Right? Like, what if... You speedy bastard! I looked away for a second. Anyway. So, the big problem is, how do you sell to those that don't want to buy, right? So 9 out of 10 times you know, you're sitting there, you're waiting, nothing's going on, it's a dead day. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, door goes off, you're like, oh shit, customer! You get up, you're all eager, hey, welcome to whatever fucking dickhole in the universe this is. Hold on one second. Hold on a second. I don't know if I just lost internet. Give me 1 second, guys. No, we're still live. Okay, so Wi-Fi just died on me, but internet's still up. My apologies. Anyway. No, so you would all, like, there more often than not, I'd have, like, elderly customers walk in, and you're thinking, like, oh shit, I can sell them a new phone. You know, maybe they're looking to upgrade. And no, 9 out of 10 times it was, hey, can you help me with my email? And the funny thing is that this is such a common issue that somebody on TikTok was making shorts, like short videos, basically making fun of this whole situation. Like, I remember watching one clip from this person, and the line, it was like, elderly woman walks in, asks for help with her emails, guy drops his head to the counter and goes, get the fuck out of my store, you old bitch. Like, that sounds insane. Like, I know, it's like, wait, why would you ever want to tell someone that? When you are working as a commission employee and you have a boss who's constantly on your ass trying to convince you, like, oh, you need to sell, it's very stressful having someone coming in just looking for tech support. On top of that, too, you'd also have customers coming in trying to ask you to apply a screen protector for them that they bought outside the store. Which, again, the problem with that is they're not spending money in the store. So if they come in and they ask you to apply a screen protector that they brought in, what you're expected to do is be like, all right, cool. You have to pay a service fee to do that. Like, I'm not just gonna do it for you for free. 9 out of 10 times the customers get pissed off at that. 9 out of 10 times. Yeah, like one of the arguments my old manager used to make was what was it? It was always something to the effect of like, well, you don't go to Burger King with chopped meat and ask them to cook it for you, and expect them not to charge you anything. So that was basically the idea. Yeah, don't work wireless. It's really not worth it. Honestly, if I had to pick between GameStop and Verizon, if I had to do it over again, I would pick GameStop all over again. I would without a doubt pick GameStop if I had to pick between the two. It's working wireless is just not worth it. Maybe by some chance you get a free phone. That is possible, but even then, if you become like a store ambassador, they call them, if I remember correctly, you don't keep the phone. Like, you might get a free phone, but you're not keeping it. Well, fuck it. We're gonna lose the store anyway. Like, so the way it would work is if you worked, like if you were an ambassador for, say, Samsung, they'd give you a phone for free. So maybe it was like the new Fold, maybe it was the Flip, one of those phones. But at the end of the year, they would expect you to give them that old phone back. That was the kick. You motherfucker. Yeah, we're not breaking $1,000 in 5 minutes. Also, too, I don't know why the store closes so early. Like, no retailer closes this early. Usually, if we're gonna close, it'll be at like 7, 8 o'clock. I don't know why we're closing at 4. Yep, so we lost the store. We didn't make a goal, which is kind of makes sense, if you don't make your daily goals. Oh, today's the last day. Cool. All right. So today we have a hot release. Hugh Gus. Okay. Did I buy it? But yeah, personally, like I said, I wasn't fond of Verizon, and I don't recommend anybody work for wireless. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. Fuck. Alright, whatever. Just gonna have those there. Open them. And by the way, this was another thing that would happen with GameStop. A release day happens, and everybody and their grandmother is waiting outside the store like a horde of zombies. That was another thing. Now, granted, some people, actually made it fun. Like, I remember back before loss prevention was like a huge pain in the balls. What I used to do is I'd fuck with my customers. So like towards the end of the shift, wow. Usually like standard copies, we'd always have like a bunch. Like if you wanted to pick up a game on release day, you never really had to worry about like a standard copy. Standard copies, you didn't have to pre-order. There was nothing special about them unless it came with like a DLC code or something. But usually you didn't have to pre-order them. Nothing special. Though, what I would do is if we had the whole stack of games on the back counter, at the end of the shift, I would try to fuck with people. So like they'd come in, if they came in a panic, like, oh, is the game out of stock? Do you guys still have it? I'd fuck with them and like I'd be deliberately pointing at the games on the counter. But then I'd be like, nah, man, we're out. They bought all of our games. There's no more left. And I'd see their soul die for a second. And they're like, really? It's all gone? And they'd see that I'm pointing at the counter and they go, oh, wait, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's the game you're asking for. And at that one moment where the wires connect and they realize I was fucking with them. Oh, it was great. You son of a bitch, I hear you. I see you. Oh my god, he shrunk! I beat him so hard, he shrank. You son of a bitch. got robbed by a cop! I got fucking robbed by a cop! Oh, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, no, they bought us out, dude. Let me get rid of that. Fuck it, I'll throw it right there, whatever. Doesn't offer me any benefits anyway. But, what the fuck was I saying? I literally just need her to spend like 80 bucks. Which is probably not going to happen if all she's buying is a game. If she buys a handheld or something, maybe. But like this, we're down to the wire. You cheap whore. I'm fucked. Oh wait, 80? Nah. Not making it. We're not making it. Nah. Yeah, it's over. Look at that. About $25 away. That's it. We lost the store. Alright, we can continue in Tycoon mode. But anyway. But yeah, no, Dark, that would happen. The store getting flooded by people. That happened, and when it came down, predominantly sales, or like if it was like, say, a pop figure that was like a rarity or some shit. Comic-Con stuff, that always drew in crowds. Constantly. That was always a thing. I remember, and I told, in one of my upcoming videos, I tell the story, but I'll tell it again anyway, because, you know, why not? I remember, so when the PlayStation 5 got announced, right? They were supposed to do pre-orders for it like the next day after the announcement. But what had ended up happening was Walmart fucked over everybody. So something that people don't realize about retail typically is that we have what's called street date, right? So the way street date works is I'll use Black Ops for example, Black Ops 7, right? When that game released, there was a time and a day, well, there's a specific day that game was allowed to be sold by retailers. So, if a retailer were to sell that game before its agreed upon release day, that store takes a financial penalty, and other stores are legally permitted to then break their street date in order to be able to compete. Usually, if I remember correctly, it was something like if you're an employee found to have been selling street-dated merchandise, your penalty as an employee was like, I think, $2,000 per copy sold. No, I'm sorry, correction. The penalty was $2,000 to the store per copy sold. You as the employee get fired. GameStop could go ahead and sue you for the lost funds. And GameStop could potentially lose their license to sell video games. Or at least their license with that company. So yeah, no, Street Date was that was a really big issue. And Walmart always had a bad habit of breaking Street Date. They always did that shit. So when it came time for the PS5 pre-orders, what had happened was, like I said, so say the announcement came up tonight. What fucking Walmart did, they announced the PS5. Well, Sony announces the PS5 up for pre-order today. Oh, hey, go ahead. Tomorrow you're gonna be able to pre-order it. Whatever, yada yada yada. Then what ended up happening was, while everybody else was waiting for the pre-orders to come through, Walmart already did their shit. So what had ended up happening was, when everybody came in the next day, we didn't have any consoles for pre-order. We literally couldn't, because all the pre-orders got eaten up on the internet. So, I remember the morning of, and I didn't know this had happened. I did not know this had happened. Morning of, I'm groggy, I'm tired, as I usually am. Take my store keys, open up the store, my boss and everybody's already in there. Wait, motherfucker. Fuck you, but nice ass. Anyway. So, normal day, nothing crazy. I know the pre-orders are up, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. It's fucking pre-order day. It's gonna be annoying. I know it. People have been haunting us about this damn system. So I go in. I look around, I go to my door. I look around. Nobody's near me. I'm like, okay, maybe people are being normal human beings for once, and they're not gonna, fucking butt-fuck tackle my store. So, all right, no worries. Go inside, talk to my boss, and he tells me the whole street date situation. That street date got basically lifted, Walmart fucked us, the whole nine. So I'm like, oh shit, that's gonna be fun to tell these people that they're not gonna be able to buy their game. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm like, alright, well, before the horde decides to come in and we have to fight with people, I'm gonna go get coffee. Does anybody want? No? Okay, cool. So, leave the store, I poke my head out, I look around, there's nobody there. I'm like, cool. Turn around, get down on my knees to lock the door, motherfucker. Because our lock was always at the bottom of the door, for some reason. I don't know what asshole came up with that design, but whatever. So, go to lock my door. Turn around, and then as I'm ready to leave, like I said, turn around, fucking a horde is around me. I don't know where these people came from. It was like The Walking Dead. I felt like I needed a Python revolver and a cowboy hat. Everybody's staring at me like, are you open? Can we pre-order? I'm like, bro, I just want to go get some coffee. Chill. I'm just trying to go get me some coffee. Like, yo, like, let me breathe. And, mind you, though, because I was the first one out of the store, naturally everybody started, was in a panic. Like, oh, I gotta get that PlayStation. Gotta pre-order. I had to be the one to break the news. Because when they came to the door, I was like, listen, guys, first of all, I'm going to go get me some coffee. But, I hate to tell you this, there's no pre-orders. Like, there's no consoles. Yeah, Walmart kind of fucked us. And naturally, people being people, instead of seeing the situation for what it was and be like, oh, well, that fucking sucks, they instead all got mad at me. Like I had a hand in the pre-orders for some reason. And people are making demands like, oh, how ridiculous. They have us coming out here and they don't have the consoles. It's like, well, it doesn't really work like that, but okay. Typical self-entitled bullshit. Basically, Dark, that's how it felt. That's basically how it felt. You just throw your keys at people like, hey! Yeah, no, that happened. Arguably the worst pre-order that I've ever dealt was the PlayStation. Arguably that was the worst. And honestly, too, any pre-orders going on during COVID was a nightmare because GameStop fucked everybody over, even me. There was a point where pre-orders were just not going to ship. And, well, I'm sorry, if you had a pre-order in the store, after lockdown, your pre-order was gone. That the only way you could preserve your pre-order was to call customer service and have them shift your order over from an in-store to an online. I didn't know that, and I lost my pre-order, and so many people came to our store pissed off after lockdown.
Hello.
You know what it is, Dark? It's because, you know what I honestly think it is? I think the reason why people get mad at the retail employees is because it's an easy target. Rather than me calling customer service and complaining and getting no answer, or calling the manufacturer, like calling the big guys and trying to complain, rather than me going to the people who are probably responsible, I'm going to go yell at the guy who can't fight me, and I'm going to make his day miserable because he's the easy target, and because it's retail, he kind of has to let me get away with it. So that's kind of what I think it is, personally.
Hi.
Anyway. Thievery side. But that's honestly what I think it is. I just think it is people just being shitty and going after the easiest target. I think I need another green shelf. Need to move that red. That'll probably be tomorrow's project. I remember one time too, like some people were very pretentious. I remember one guy, he pre-ordered, his son wanted to pre-order NBA, not because he wanted the game, but because he wanted some stupid coin that came with it if you pre-ordered. But the thing is, and this is something that we've always, the GameStop's never hidden, is when you pre-order, the pre-order bonuses are while supplies last. So if you come in too late, the pre-order bonuses are gone, sucks to be you. Or if we only get 5 of those fucking things in, again, sucks to be you. It is what it is. There's no, you know. So this guy comes in to pick up the game, and we're like, okay, cool, we're gonna sell, you know, we're gonna sell you the game. And he's like, oh, but I was supposed to get a coin. I'm like, yeah, we ran out. But I'm supposed to get it for pre-ordering. We ran out. Like, what do you want me to do? It's a free bullshit. And he basically admitted that his kid didn't want the game, that they just wanted the coin. And now looking back retrospectively, I'm like, chances are the guy wasn't even buying the game. Like, knowing the way people were back then, it's likely that people weren't even buying, or I'm sorry, it's likely he wasn't buying the game for his kid. He just bought the pre-order for, what do you call it? Just like what we said before, scalpers. He bought it for the purpose of reselling that coin in the hopes of flipping it for cash real quick. Knowing it was free. And his intentions, he explicitly said his intentions were to return the game after the fact. So, wait, why is the sun turning blue? Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's it. I'm a tad retarded right now. But then again, what the hell else is new? There we go, got it. Okay, cool. But, anyway. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you had your shifty guys. I mean, on top of that, too, I remember, I've told this story many, many times. I had what I call a colorblind neo-Nazi. Basically, like, I guess the best way I could describe it is like, this isn't accurate, but just to give a point, it's like, imagine a neo-Nazi who's racist towards white people. That's basically who this guy was, in a sense. Kid you not, came into my store a couple of times. He would, you know, bald, swastikas all over his arm, wearing a t-shirt that said Waffen SS, black bandana. He had a Iron Cross necklace on. And this guy would walk in and not understand why people looked at him the way they did. Like, it was like, the best way I could describe it is if you walk into a store wearing clown makeup and surprised people are staring at you and like, why is everyone looking at me? I don't get it. Was there something on my face? That's basically how this guy was. Is shit you not. And I remember the guy outwardly admitted. So first, he decides to tell me a story about his cat that kills birds, that he named it after his grandfather, and he said that the cat was a little Nazi cat, which, like, you just know. But then he had to add on to it and then mention that his grandfather was supposedly an Oberfuhrer or Obergruppenführer or some shit within the SS, and I'm like, no. You just know. No, you don't do that. You don't admit to that. I'm like, I really hope you're joking, but then again, with all the swastikas and shit on your fuck. Oh, I beat a customer. That was your fault for getting in the way. It's called crossfire. Oh yeah, Dark. Absolutely. Right on point. And then I remember one time he came in with his sister, And she came in with like a puffy North Face jacket, and it had a swastika on the arm. And I'm looking at this girl, I'm like, where the fuck do you guys find all this Nazi shit? Is there like a Nazis R Us somewhere that I don't know about? Oh shit, I gotta buy more of that. I'm just trying to, oh my god, I remember there's this one woman. Crazy fucking story. So, okay. GameStop decided, well, corporate decided to send us empty boxes that were the same kind of outer sleeves the PlayStation 4 typically had. So when you bought a PS4 or PS5, typically they have a outer sleeve that's meant to be like the more display box, right? Like the, oh, look at me kind of bullshit. But then when you open the box, there's another box inside of that that actually contains the PlayStation, the system. So what they sent us was literally just empty sleeves that were meant to just act as displays. So I'm looking at the empty boxes, and I look at my boss, I'm like, question, why don't we put rocks in these? And he's like, why would we bother doing that? I'm like, so that way these jackasses who try to steal from us, they lift up, they feel something heavy, they think there's a console in there, and they're gonna try to steal it, and then we know who the thieves are. And my boss looks at me and goes, Nick, come on, people aren't that stupid. They're never gonna fall for that. And besides, there's a little hole in the side of the box. They'll tell right off the bat that it's fake. I'm like, all right, whatever, but I think it would work. A few days later, I come into my store, and I'm looking around. I see, so we had these metal racks on the sides of the doors that would hold marketing, right? Well, I saw that one of the racks had their marketing punched out. It was on the floor. And I see my boss, she's just all pissed off. She's fuming. I look at her, and I'm like, yo, you good? And she's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, okay, chill. You good? Like, no worries. I go, and I'm like, she tells me, to wait in the back. Take care of the register. She's got to go in the back room. All right, you do you. She's got to call the cops. Something happened. The assistant store leader comes up to me, fucking dying. And he goes, Nick, you were right. And I'm like, what do you mean? So apparently what had happened was some woman came into the store. She had come into the store looking, just browsing around. She got online. She had like stuff in her hands. She would get online, wait a little bit. Then she'd get offline and then go pick up more stuff. Then get back online and get back off. And my boss started watching her a little bit more and more and realized that what she was doing was she was also throwing stuff into her purse. So she was trying to steal little knickknacks and whatnot from the store. So she gets to the register, and she's also holding tablets and whatnot to trade them in. So my boss looks at her and goes, oh, by the way, are you going to be buying the stuff that's in your bag too? Naturally, the woman starts flipping out, starts obscenities. Why are you looking at my bag? Victim, right? Decides that, well, you know what? Listen, I might as well go big or go home. She runs to the back of the store before my boss can say anything, forgetting that she left her ID on the counter to trade in the smartphones and shit that she brought in, the tablets. Runs to the back of the store, picks up one of the empty PlayStation boxes, not thinking, hey, why is this light? Goes to run out of the store, and my boss yells at her going, hey, stupid, it's fake. The woman stops at the door, looks down at the empty box she's holding, thinks about it for a second, gets pissed off, and launches it back into the store. On her way out, punches out the display, and then just storms out, forgetting her ID that had her name, address, and date of birth on the counter. So my boss called the cops and gave it to them. Come to find out, the cops have been looking for her for a while, apparently. So, that was great. But when my ASL told me that story, I started fucking dying, because I'm like, if the box was full with rocks, that would have been great. How stupid would this bitch have felt? She leaves the store thinking, oh, I stole from GameStop. They thought they were going to stop me. Opens the box, it's all just rocks. That would have been great. Oh, but like the fact that he came up to me, Nick, you were right. Listen, look, something I've learned from retail. Look, one thing I can tell you, I don't care where you work. You can work at GameStop, McDonald's, Verizon. You can work at fucking Blockbuster. I know those don't exist anymore, but you can work there too. Doesn't matter where you go. If it's retail, I promise you, you have your flavor of fucking retarded in that store. There is always that type of customer that will come in and you... Motherfucker. Case in point, here's our flavor of stupid. But you will always have those people who think they can get away with something, but the problem is their so original idea has been done 50 different times and you've already seen it 50 different times. Yeah, no, Dark, you're on point. Hey, I'm here to steal stuff. Let me give you my actual ID and be surprised when I get caught by the cops. By the way, legally speaking, GameStop is recognized as a pawn shop. So, because of that, some states require by law that GameStop asks for ID. So if you bring stolen merchandise to sell to GameStop, we have your ID. Your ass is gonna get picked up by the cops. 1000%. No, Dark, exactly. If you don't think humanity can get any stupider, work retail, and I promise you will see the pinnacle of retardation. Oh, but yeah, that was great. I never forgot that one. Then we had this one guy we nicknamed Bug Eyes Magoo. He was this short little bastard with these bug eyes. I remember he gave me his ID and it said like Sammy Fahim or some shit. Turns out that wasn't his real name at all. It was a fake ID. First time I met him, guy comes in like, and this was one of those customers that you remembered, but for the wrong reasons. He came in and he's looking at the games and everything, and I'm like, oh, no, Dark, no, GameStop is legally recognized as a pawn shop because you buy and sell merchandise to them. That's why it's seen as a pawn shop. That is actually the case. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm also trying to take a breath. So, anywho, so this guy came in, like I said, and he's looking at our games and whatnot, and I'm like, oh, hey, you know, what's going on? And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, I just got paid today, so I'm looking to go balls out, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So you want to spend money. Awesome. So we're going through everything. He wants a PS4. He wanted 3 or 4 games. He told me he wanted to get protection. He wanted the rewards card. Oh, this guy wanted the whole fucking store. So I'm like, bet, let's go. Ring him up. All right, sir, it's $600. Oh, I don't have that. How much is this? How much is that? Can you do better on the price? Can you do anything? Can you take that out? Okay, let's take this out. So he went from spending $600 down to like $100. Like he just knocked like 90% out of it, and only bought like I think like a console and a game, and that was really like he didn't buy much, and he didn't even get the rewards card or protection. So I was like, fuck. So went from hey, I'm gonna buy everything to hey, I'm gonna buy nothing that helps you, and your boss is probably gonna get pissed at you anyway. But anyway. So, this guy, he would come in every now and then, and he did this all the time. Come in, want $300 worth of shit, drop you down to $60. Oh, hey, you know, if you get the rewards card, your pre-owned games will be cheaper. No, I did it last time. No, you didn't, because I helped you last time, and you said the same thing. And that was another thing, too. He would always say the same thing. Oh, yeah, I'll get the rewards card next time. Come in. Didn't I do it last time? You said you were going to do it this time. Oh, well, I'll do it next time. And he would all the time. Same line every time. So one day I find out that apparently we had a guy who was an EMT in our store. And he had his badge in his wallet. Guy puts his wallet down next to the credit card reader, and he's looking away for a second talking to my coworker. This, fucking Bug Eyes Magoo sneaks up behind the guy and actually ends up stealing his wallet, not knowing that there's a badge in the wallet. So we look at the cameras, figure out it was him. And now we're on the lookout. We know he's a regular. So one day, sure, of course, the day where I'm working by myself and I'm not expected to have coverage for like 2 hours, he comes in and he's trying to sell all these phones. And immediately my heart jumps because I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta deal with this guy, but I gotta call the cops. How do I get this guy arrested without not putting myself in the crossfire here? Because I don't know if this guy's nuts, you son of a bitch. I don't, that's another thing too. You don't know if the people you're dealing with is insane. All it takes is for him to realize I called the cops on him, and he just draws a gun, and that's it. Now I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how this guy's gonna react. So, like, I'm like trying to think, like, okay, what's the best course of action here? How do I act with this? So I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on, bud? All right, yeah, you want to trade that in? Okay, cool. Listen, give me like 2 minutes. I gotta get a cable from the back room because I don't have any of the appropriate ones for out here for your shitty phones. Which, by the way, I'm pretty certain all the phones that he wanted to steal, I'm sorry, all the ones that he wanted to sell were stolen because they all had some like weird corporate, they had like a weird corporate Gmail attached to them, and on top of them, they all were LCD burned. So if you ever seen like a phone where it kind of has like a pinkish highlight where icons used to be. Right? Like you can see the icons that used to be installed on the phone. That's typically LCD burn. That's an indication that the phone was on for like long periods of time. And that usually only happens to display phones or to someone who's actively like leaving their phone on like 24/7. But generally it's rule of thumb, it's usually from long-term use, essentially. So not even thinking about the phones. I go in the back room. I call my manager. I'm like, what am I doing? They're like, call the cops. I'm like, cool. We all agree. So I stand in the back room for about 5-10 minutes. I call the cops. I tell them what's up. I describe him to a T. Step outside. He's fucking gone. I'm like, fuck. But the phones are still on the back counter. I'm like, all right. So he didn't try to take the phones. Maybe he'll come back. All right. Waiting for the cops. Dark. Don't be leaving your phone on 24/7. That's so unhealthy. That's unhealthy for the phone, actually. But joking aside. So at one point, I'm waiting. I'm thinking this guy's gone. Eventually, he pops back in. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, cool. I'm like, hey, hang out. Wait, buddy. I'm like, where the fuck are the cops? I'm waiting for these guys. They're not showing up. Eventually, he leaves again. I'm like, fuck. My phone rings. And it's a 911 operator. I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? And they're like, yeah, so we're, cops are coming. Is your guy still there? I'm like, he just stepped out, but I'm assuming he'll be back. Oh, okay, cool. Yep, still waiting. I don't think the cops showed up for a good 45 minutes. You know, we really need to change that saying. That, what was it? In situations where seconds matter, the police are always minutes away. We should change that to, in situations where seconds matter, the police are usually a half hour to an hour away. But, anyway. So I'm sitting there waiting. Eventually, so the guy's at the counter, and I'm going as slow as I can. I'm just dragging this thing out. So, eventually the cops finally show up. They walk in, and they look at me, they look at him. This guy stares at me with one bug eye, like he does like a side view kind of thing, like fucking chameleon. Looks at me, and you can tell immediately he's panicked. It's like, oh, fuck. You son of a bitch. Oh, I didn't mean to beat you. Sorry, sir. But, anyway. So, little bug eye looks over to me. Cops finally walk in, and they're like, we were called? I'm like, yeah, you have a description of the guy. There's only 2 people in the store, and I very obviously didn't call the cops on myself. Can you just grab him? So that way I don't look like I'm the one that called? So that way he doesn't want to beat my ass at some point? No? Okay. Yeah, officer, it's him. I called the cops. You know, this guy was stealing. And he immediately jumps to defense. I wasn't stealing. I didn't steal nothing. And I'm like, no, we got you on camera. You stole a wallet. We saw you. I immediately gave up. He's like, oh, okay. So the cops put him in handcuffs, and he's like, hey, can I take my coffee with me? And the cops are like, no, we're going to throw that shit out. Like, you're not taking it with you. So, I don't know if I should admit to this or not. I don't know if this is a bad thing. But naturally, because of the fact that, again, the fear of, you know, who is this guy? Hey, Crusader, what's going on? I'm just telling GameStop stories. So, not knowing who this guy is or what his deal might be, my father, being a cop, goes into the police station and requests his this guy's criminal record. So, he shows the badge, like, hey, I'm a fellow cop, and tell him the situation. And basically, again, my father did that more in the sense of, like, just to make sure, like, this guy, like, he's not trying to blackmail a guy or anything. It was just more of, like, hey, we want to make sure this guy's not, like, a deranged serial killer and, like, he's going to come back to my store to murder me at some point, So, my father, walks in, gets the whole thing, finds out that apparently the guy does have a bit of a history of, like, getting into fistfights and shit like that, but it seems more like his behaviors were around, like, getting drunk and going to bars and doing stupid shit. But he at the very least has a criminal record of, theft. So he's not typically like a super violent person, but, to a degree, yes, Dark. I believe it is to a degree, but, like, not immediately. It's not something that you can just grab. Like if I got arrested tonight, I don't think it's something that the cops can just hand over. Like, I think it basically has to be disclosed at some point. I don't think it's something that they can just hand over willy-nilly. Anyway. You son of a bitch! And why did you sound like a man? I'd allow...
Hello.
Oh, I gotta figure that all out, Crusader, because typically I don't, like, you know me, I don't typically stream with outside my normal group, so I'm still thinking that one over. Son of a bitch, someone just stole from me. Anyway. So yeah, so the guy, like I said, my father gets his criminal record, nothing crazy. But mind you, we also got the report of what happened with the cops when they arrested him, right? Ready for this shit. Mind you, I nailed him 2 or 3 weeks after he had stolen that wallet. The cops searched him. They found the wallet still on him. So this idiot went ahead, stole a medic's badge, no less, and decided to keep the wallet as proof of his theft. So, and Crusader, I might do something with the community as a whole. So, I mean, whenever it comes down to, like, community events, everybody's welcome. So, it's not even a question of whether or not anybody, everybody's welcome. The thing is, you gotta remember, whenever I do live streams with other people, it's a matter of blending the dynamic. So, that's really where it comes down to. It's just more to trying to figure out who works better with who and how things work out. Like 50, I'm always gonna try to have him on, like, Ready or Not and whatnot, because let's face it, he's he's our resident police brutality statistic. And, everybody loves him. But anyway, yeah. So this freaking idiot went ahead and he still had the stolen wallet on him, despite the fact, it was like 2 weeks later. Yeah, let me hold on to stolen merchandise so the cops can nail me for it later. See? Exactly, Dark. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, Dark. Yeah, Dark. There must have been one hell of a wallet to, Listen, Dark, when I flag people, it's usually with love. But anyway, yeah, no. Blood Guys Magoo was a freaking idiot. I'm just rolling back, like, old memories. And I remember there was this one dude who racist as fuck towards white people. Anytime I tried to talk to him, he would ignore me. Apparently, too, if you tried to talk to him and he got the impression like you were watching him, he'd get incredibly aggressive and violent. So, general rule of thumb with him was basically just keep an eye on him, but at a distance, and just make it seem like you're just working and that you're not trying to watch him. But yeah, no, he was a psycho. One night, I remember he and his buddies decided that they were going to... fuck it. One night, him and his buddies decided that they were going to come in. Because the thing is that they would always do, they always had the same trend, right? They would hit the same stores, the same route all the time. Are you sure it was a shoplifter? No, so Crusader, if a shoplifter runs by me, they usually make a noise. I don't remember, I don't think I heard him. But, anyway, what was I saying? So, they typically had their route that they would always take, right? So, what had ended up happening was one night, one of our, sister stores, one of our sister locations calls us, and they're like, hey, by the way, the guy, we nicknamed him Top Knot, because we didn't have, a proper, we didn't know his actual name. And he always had his hair tied up in a knot, he looked like a fucking troll doll. Anyway, so fucking troll doll Magoo over there, asshole decides that he's gonna come to our store and try to steal, or they would, try to steal from everybody else. So because we had forewarning, we were ready for him, and we started moving everything behind the counter. We told, of course that was the night that we were training a rookie too. So we told her, hey, when he shows up, because he will show up, I want you to stand by the Pokemon section, and you're just going to stand there. You're not going to say nothing to him. You're not going to do nothing. If he asks questions, be nice, but don't do shit. You are eyes. That is all you're doing right now, because he's a fucking psycho, and I don't want your first day being involved with you getting assaulted. So... yeah, no, Dark. Crusader. I don't think I got robbed. I would have heard a noise. But anyway. So him and his buddies walk in, and the second they walk in, my boss runs to the back room, calls the cops. Oh, I'm sorry. I ran to the back room and called the cops. As I'm trying to call the cops, my boss walks in, asks me how's it going. I'm like, yeah, it's going. We're talking. She goes back outside. And as I'm calling, no, Crusader, this is somebody else. This is different. No, this is my second store when I was the SGA. This was one of my rookies that I trained, and she was actually really good, and still one of my good friends. But no, so I'm in the back room calling the cops. At one point, all of a sudden I hear yelling outside. And all I'm thinking is, oh my god, this man just assaulted my coworker. And I'm basically getting nervous with the cops now. I'm like, listen, I need the fucking cops here now. Let's stop playing fucking games. I don't know what's going on. And my boss walks in and she was like, oh, he just verbally assaulted me. He got in my face. So she takes my phone from me, starts talking to the cops, tells me to go outside. As I go outside, I see this guy in just a rage. And he's just flipping the fuck out, and his buddies are grabbing him, pulling him back, and they pull him out of the store. So all I'm thinking is, what the fuck happened? What did I was in there for 5 minutes. What did I miss? One of the guys that was in our store, he's a former store leader. He actually was our neighbor. He worked next door in the T-Mobile that was next to us at the time. So he was one of our neighbors. And like I said, he was a former GameStop manager. So, every now and then he'd pop in, and if something was going on, he'd try to help out. That old, GameStop camaraderie. So he told me the whole story. Apparently what had happened was, this asshole was walking around pretending like he was shopping when his buddies were actually looking around trying to steal shit. Because you see them on the counter, on the camera, they'd actually lean over the counter and look around, seeing if they could grab something. They were all looking to steal. While this was going on, their buddy was acting like he was shopping. So my boss, knowing who this guy is, she walks up. Oh, hey, how you doing? This guy's headphones on, so he's not listening to her. So what she did was she just kind of did this this cute little kind of lean in kind of thing, oh hi, trying to lean in front of him to kind of get his attention, oh hi, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm trying to talk to you. And it's at that moment he just started flipping the fuck out because she was just trying to get his attention. So he got in her face, he started screaming. Apparently I just heard a noise. Fuck. It's too late. Yeah, there he is. He's gone. Fuck. But anyway. But no, Crusader, that's a story I'll tell in a little bit. So yeah, that's basically what ended up happening. I don't know if they ever caught him. We kept his face on, file, so if we ever came back in, but this was before lockdown happened too, so honestly, for all I know, that fucking asshole could have died from COVID. So, I don't know. I never heard from him after that. Granted, he probably realized that the whole town knew who he was by this point. I really wanted to get him in trouble. Why do I return to the dark time? Danny, listen. I return to the darkness that is retail, so that way those before us know not to do the same mistakes. I punish myself to save others. It is, Danny, you and I as GameStop survivors, it is our duty to save others from the fate that you and I suffered. And why is, okay, nobody's buying our Nintendo shit. Granted, Nintendo is shit, so no, not surprised. Anyway. No, but what Crusader said is true. I had a rookie who he did steal from our store. And this was when I was the assistant store leader. My boss hired him. And, early on I felt bad for the kid. I genuinely felt bad for him. He gave me, so back my very first job ever working, I worked in an indoor amusement park. The job was miserable. I hated the game. I hated the store. And what he would tell me is, he'd tell me the same thing about his other job, because he was working, I think, at some kind of fast food restaurant. And he used to tell me he hated it, he was miserable, his boss sucked, usual nonsense. And I felt bad for him. He gave me the impression of someone who was really trying to learn the job. He really wanted to work for GameStop. And I was like, you know what, listen, everybody's got to have their start. So I decided to take him under my wing, and I trained him the best I could. And, I tried to push. So one thing is, if you ever want to work for GameStop for some reason, I don't know why the fuck you want to do that, but if you want to work for GameStop, go in during October and apply. Apply in October. That's how you get a seasonal position. So what ended up happening was that, he was like, oh, I really need this job. I don't want to go back to working for, this other place. So I kept talking to my boss about it, and eventually he agreed to keep the kid after holiday. Yeah, come to find out that at some point shit started going missing, and we couldn't figure it out. And at one point we thought it was this one girl that was working with us because she was always miserable. She was miserable because she hated me, and I'll get into that later. But she was always miserable, and we assumed, usually rule of thumb is, if you have an employee who's disgruntled and kind of pissy, chances are they're probably your thief. That's the usual rule of thumb. Come to find out, it was him. So, to say that I felt betrayed was definitely an understatement. I absolutely was pissed off, and I wanted his ass to fry. So, I met the loss prevention officer. He came in with the district leader. And, he's like, hey, listen, I want to know about this kid. What's going on with him? Is there anything I should know? And I told him what I knew. And they're like, all right, cool. So, obviously when he comes in, don't tell them that I'm here. If he asks, just make up something. I'm like, okay, cool. Sure enough, the kid walks in, puts his backpack in the back, notices the district leader and this other guy. And she's like, oh, he's like, who are those? Why is the DL with that guy? Who's that guy? And I'm like, oh, he's lost prevention. Oh, is this for the theft? I'm like, no. They're just doing an audit right now because, end of holidays. We're just trying to get everything back on track. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Immediately gets the bright idea to start making fun of the district leader, calling her a midget, calling her the GameStop midget. And I'm like, all I'm thinking to myself is, yeah, you keep making jokes, asshole. Watch what happens in the next few minutes. DL calls him to the back room, and to the best of my ability, I stood by that door and tried to listen. Found out that basically he stole about $300 worth of shit. Again, nothing crazy. Nothing compared to the asshole at Verizon who lost $16,000 worth of shit. But still, it was the betrayal. That's really what it was. Anyway, before I get into more stories, let me give you guys a little bit of love. Let me see. So, am I holding a bat? Yes, Danny, I am holding a baseball bat. So if somebody steals from me, I can beat them over the head. For clarity, that is a baseball bat, yes. Oh, Danny, I also have another weapon. I can have other weapons. Sandals. There's a joke in that, but I'm going to leave that one up to you. Yeah, so Crusader, here's the thing. GameStop, well, okay, GameStop's actually gotten really shitty lately because of the whole, now you can buy and sell Pokemon cards from them. So that's really annoying. Because of that alone, I probably would never go back to GameStop. But, let me see. Oh, the, gold, oh yeah, this. There you go, Danny, you're welcome. But, Nick turned, when did I turn Asian? What? I knew, Danny, I knew you were anyway, you bitch! And why did you sound like a man? Anyway. But yeah, no, that girl that hated me, reason why she disliked me, well, for one, she was a fucking idiot. So, many times, like, I remember one, so a customer came in with a receipt trying to return a couple games. So my coworker's looking at it, trying to figure it out, she's trying to figure this all out. And she looks at me, she goes, hey Nick, how do I do a return? Is this okay? And I'm like, what do you mean? So I look at the receipt, mind you, I want to make this clear. At this time, I want to say it was 2023. 2022, 2023 about, maybe. I look at the receipt, and immediately first two things come to mind. First of all, she's trying to return a new game that's been opened. GameStop policy does not allow that. If you open a new game, you can no longer return it. You can only trade it in. You can only return used games for full value. You son of a bitch. Yeah, you're gonna keep laughing. I'm gonna fucking crack open that bald head of yours, you bastard. Anyway. So anyway, what was I gonna say? So I look at the receipt, and I'm like, okay, so first of all, you can't return this. Oh, but I thought if it's new and you open it, it becomes pre-owned, and then you can return it as pre-owned. I'm like, no, where the fuck did you get that idea? That's not how it works. And then I'm like, on top of that too, did you notice the other problem on this receipt? She's like, what other problem? The fact that the receipt says 2017 and it's 2022? Return policy is at max 30 days. This is a little over, don't you think? Does this game actually have a capitalism tag? Or the stream? I love how Steam has a capitalism. Oh, does it? I didn't notice. What are those schizo games? Well, this is PUBG. I'm assuming that's Bloodborne. Halo. I don't know what the fuck that is. We think that's Minecraft. I'm assuming that's supposed to be a goof on Battlefield, maybe? Or that's another mini tanks on the Battlefield. Goddamn IRS! But anyway. So she did that. And then there was one day where for some reason at this time, GameStop had this weird thing where it was like, oh, hey, we don't train our rookies anymore. Instead, what we do is we have the managers help the customers and the rookies all just look pretty. That was basically the way they operated for some fucking stupid reason. So I'm like, all right, I got to go on break. Go on lunch break. I tell her, I'm like, listen, if you have any questions, any issues, call me. I'll be back. Okay, no worries. Cool. I come back from my break an hour later. I look at my counter, and I see a new to us, Nintendo Switch just sitting there. Now, I want to make this clear as to what I was dealing with. And stop me if something's missing. So it's a regular Nintendo Switch with damaged joysticks and nothing else. Please do clips of you losing it on the IRS. I could do that, Danny. I could do that. But anyway. So I look at the system and I go, hey, what's that? Oh, it's a Switch. Yeah, no shit. Why is it on my counter? Oh, what was a trade-in? The defective one.
Hello.
Yeah. You realize you're missing something. I am? The dock, the grip, the charger, the HDMI cable, the straps for the controllers. Oh, well, the customer, he was deaf, and there's no sign language for dock Only like a boat dock, but not like a charging dock. That's not a thing. I'm like, call the customer and get them to come in. Because we need that, otherwise it's a loss. Sure enough, nothing happens. The loss on the store. So now my boss is like, all right, we need to watch this girl. If she does anything, we need to make sure she's doing it right. So she goes to do a trade on an Xbox and a PlayStation. Turns it on, looks at it, then turns it off. Goes to sell it as a 1 terabyte system. I go, hold on, what are you doing? She's like, what? I'm like, did you check the hard drive? What, like if it's in the system? So I look at this girl, I'm like, okay. How do you know if that system is a 1 terabyte or a 500 gig system? And you're about to sell it, take it back as a 1 terabyte. How do you know you're taking it back as the right system? You might either be giving him more money than he should get, or you may be potentially ripping him off. Well, how am I supposed to check? You turn on the system and go into the settings. But nobody signed in on the console. Then have him sign in. Like, it's not rocket science. Just, look it over. So, she gets all irritated with me. She gets in the system, figures it out. It's a 500 system. She was ready to take it back as a terabyte, but it was a 500 gig, so we corrected it appropriately. Went over everything, worked fine. Then I was watching over her shoulder doing the PlayStation. She got really irritated at me for that. Ever since then, she hated me. And I remember after that transaction, I told her, I'm like, look, I don't mean to get on your case. And like everybody else, you're making mistakes, which is normal. I expect you guys to learn. But this is why I want you guys working the register more. I want you to get used to it. I want you to get experience. I just want you to get practice. That's all. She flips out on me and says that because she only gets like 8 hours a week, she doesn't want to work the register. I'm like, I just looked at her. I was like, really? Like, I looked at her. But what I really wanted to tell her was, remember, you signed a contract. In that contract, you're expected to work the register. So I don't give a fuck how many hours you work. You agreed to work the register. So, ever since then, she hated me. She hated me because she was under the belief that I wanted her retrained. The reality is you can't retrain somebody that doesn't even have proper training in the first place. Ooh, I got a thingy. Anyway. So, about a year goes by. She's still with the store somehow. And I'm finally done with GameStop. I quit. I come back in to pick something up maybe like a month or two later. And my old boss, he's chuckling. I go, what's up? He goes, you remember that girl? The one that kept making mistakes? I go, yeah. I fired her. Like, what happened? Why'd you fire her? What'd you do? This numbnut, apparently a customer walked into the store, asked for her to test a PS5 game for her. She went to the back room, took out a used PS5, hooked it up, tested the game, then decided, for some reason, to forget the PlayStation existed. Walk into the back room, and while she did this PlayStation 5 is left completely unattended. Customer walked over, unhooked the PlayStation, walked out. So my boss comes in, notices an empty PS5 box just lying around, like, what the fuck? Looks at the security camera, realizes what happened, and immediately terminated her. And I was like, that is why we train these people. But, yeah, she was a fucking idiot. Yeah, so, Dark, going back to that, fuck. If you want to see, like, the levels of stupidity that humanity can muster, work retail. Yeah, exactly, Dark. She needs to learn, but then, allow the theft to happen. Yeah. Fucking idiot. But no, again, wow. She lost us maybe like $700-800 worth of merchandise. And then that first little asshole stole maybe like $300. Again, nothing in comparison to this dickhead that I was working with at Verizon. I didn't like him because he was stealing sales from us. Like, he would cut us out of our commission. But what had ended up happening, so the way Verizon would work is you trade in your phone. At the end of the night, we box it up, and then the next morning, FedEx comes in, picks up the box, and that's, usually how it goes. So every night we're shipping out trade-ins. So what happened was Chucklefuck is looking down at his phone, leg over. Yeah, not Private Pile. This is somebody. No, this is worse than Private Pile, Crusader. Worse. Private Pile was just an idiot. No, this guy's worse. So he's got his leg over, he's, his foot over his knee, and he's looking down at the trade-in box. On top of that, a FedEx driver walked in, dropped off 6 boxes of brand new merchandise. Drops off 6 boxes, leaves. Another FedEx driver walks in while this idiot is looking down at his phone, looking down at the boxes. He's staring at the boxes. This FedEx driver walks over, picks up the trade-in box, and then immediately picks up the brand new inventory. Why is it, let me ask you guys, why is it that a FedEx employee would feel the need to pick up brand new merchandise that was just delivered to the store that doesn't have a, outgoing label? Why would he want to do that? Well, I'll tell you. It's because he was a FedEx employee who kept his uniform and decided to use that to steal. So this guy walked in, stole arguably $16,000 worth of merchandise, because in that box was a bunch of, Pro Maxes. It was a bunch of Pro Maxes, which each are in the ballpark, depending on model, between $1,200 to $1,600 each. So this asshole allowed $16,000 worth of merchandise to walk out of the store. But yeah, no, Dark, what you're saying, yeah, you can't really train something that should be common sense. People are retarded, yeah. And no, going to what Crusader said, we had this one guy that we nicknamed Private Pile because he was an idiot. He'd always do something stupid, like either he wouldn't know what he was doing, he'd fuck up a customer's account, or he would bring the store keys home with him and you'd have to sit there and wait. I hated him. At first, we nicknamed him Private Pile, and I got fed up with him. Can't remember what he did, but I flipped out. Oh, you son of a bitch. Gotcha. Anyway. At one point, he kept fucking up, and we named him Special Officer Doofy. So we demoted him from Private Pile to Special Officer Doofy. So, one night he did something, and I was so pissed off at him. He fucked up. I was pissed. And I'm on the phone with a friend of mine after I figure out that he fucked up. So I'm sitting there yelling at him. I'm like, I can't remember what I said. I'm like, Joe, you fucked up so bad. This is why we demoted you to Special Officer Doofy. Because at least Private Pile could handle a fucking rifle. You can't handle so much as a goddamn rape whistle. I should have probably gotten in trouble with HR for that one. But it wasn't wrong. He always fucked something up. But at the very least, it was never, theft related. It was always him just being a stupid jackass. Oh, God. And then I remember, too, I'll give him credit that he was at least trying to be a gentleman after the fact. He was like, oh, it was a pleasure working with you guys. Most of us were like, yeah, go fuck yourself, bud. But, yeah, he was a fucking idiot. Goofy and Core, I'll do it again too. Yeah, basically, that's basically it in a nutshell. I will say this one thing, another thing too is don't work in tech repair. Don't work in if it involves dealing with the public, don't work in it. Really, just try to avoid working with people. Something I've learned, it can be smartphones, it can be repairing laptops, it could be selling tablets. Elderly men are the worst. They are the worst. Do you know why? Not because they're rude. Not because they're aggressive. Hey, can you fix my phone for me? Yeah, I think I got a virus on it. I was, looking at adult videos. And, I think I got a virus. So remember, your hands are on the phone that apparently he was looking at adult videos on. one hand's on his phone. Where's the other hand? And, you know, at some point, he might have had to switch hands. So, what are you touching right now? Do you know how many times I've had... Yeah, it'd be like, oh, what's wrong with your phone? I'm sitting there holding his phone, going through settings. And I'm like, oh, what's wrong with the phone? Whoa, I was watching porn. I don't want to touch this anymore. Never mind. Oh, it happened way too many times. I remember so another job I used to work at Staples. And, you know, us being a sales job, walk over, I see this old dude looking at tablets. So immediately I'm like, oh, okay, you know, tablet sale. I need to, you know, get my numbers up. My boss is on my ass. So I walk over, and I guess I kind of startled him a little bit. I walk up, I'm like, oh, good afternoon, sir. Did you need help looking for tablets? And immediately this guy panics, like he just committed murder. No, I'm good. And fucking flies out of the store. Flies out of the store. I'm like, oh. Did I say something? Like, what? Okay. I walk over to the tablet, and my coworker, you know, very, very happy, very friendly guy, walks up. He's like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, I had a weird incident. Like, a old dude, he panicked. I don't know what the fuck is up. So, I'm like, you know what? Hold on. What was he doing on his tablet? Go to the browsing history. Find out that he was on YouTube. You know what this guy was looking up? Shit you not, my hand to God. Grandpa was looking up sexy Christmas twerking. So, yeah, I can kind of understand why you might have been in a little bit of a panic. Oh God. Yeah, never got that one. Apparently this guy, Dark. Apparently he goes to YouTube to get his rocks off. Oh God, it's wild, some of the shit that happens. Like, you know, like when you think retail, typically your rule of thumb is like most people's reaction is like, oh, it's probably angry customers, Karen, you know, the usual bullshit that you tend to expect. What you're not expecting are these stories. I remember there was, oh, what was it? There was one old guy came in, asked me to repair his laptop. So I'm like, all right, no worries. Go over the laptop. You know, I'm going through the browsing history. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Told me it was a virus, so I go, okay, no worries. I'll look it over. Immediately, I open Google to download Malwarebytes to try to give them an antivirus scan. And I see tabs upon tabs of just... Good Lord. Like, to call it pornography is an understatement. Man was not looking up porn. He was feeding his dark passenger, we'll put it that way. Old man was into some pretty advanced things, we'll say. And I remember the second I realized that, I walk over to my boss and I'm like, yo, where's the wired keyboard? He realized that I'm working on a tablet and is like, why do you need a wired keyboard for... I'm sorry, I'm not working on a tablet, I'm working on a laptop. He's like, why do you need a wired keyboard for a laptop? It's a laptop, like it has a keyboard built in. And I'm like, do me a favor and go look at his laptop real quick. He looks and goes, oh! Under the counter. I'm like, thank you! Immediately realized why I wanted that wired keyboard. Oh god, yeah, Dark, that was really bad.
Wow.
Yeah, Crusader, I'm surprised you remembered Private Pile. Shit, I barely remember my stories half the time. Where? I heard noise. Thief! Bitch thought she could blend in. Fuck you, you... Oh. The top of my bat just grazed her butt cheeks. Lucky bitch. I don't even know how much she stole from me. Motherfucker, where? Did I just hear another thief? No, okay. But anyway. I need to hire employees. I just can't afford them. She did blend in. Yeah, no, she was a sneaky bitch. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Yeah, creepy old men. Yeah, so that was always bad. Getting these old timers that were coming in, they have their, like, the only thing I can think of is there's a scene from The Dictator where this one guy, Nadal, he ends up working for Apple and mentions that he's a Mac genius. So like, what do you do as a Mac genius? And he goes, well, I mostly clean semen out of keyboards. That's all I can, like, anytime I think about these creepy old dudes, that's immediately the thought that comes up. Like, is just, like, well, as a salesman, I deal with old men and their semen-covered phones. Yeah.
Wow.
Living the American dream.
Hi.
You know what, Crusader? You know what, actually? Like, real talk? Yeah. For May, I could definitely, you're right. I could, you know what I could do? I could do something not a lot of people do.
Hi.
Battlefront 3. I could do Battlefront 3. I just have to find it. But yeah, I could definitely do Battlefront 3. Well, I have to buy a whole new counter and I have to expand the store too, Dark. And I need to buy more inventory because my shelves are already empty. Or mostly empty. And I'm getting people not buying. Like, there's some products that I just can't sell that nobody wants. Well, no, Dark. It's because Star Wars, May the 4th be with you. Crusader, yes it does, technically. It technically does exist. So, does it exist on the market? No, it doesn't. You're absolutely right about that. But there was a leak. So Battlefront 3 was in development for, I can't remember what console. I want to say the Xbox 360 and the Wii. And the 360 version's kind of broken and most of the mechanics are kind of shit. But the Wii version is actually the most built version. It can be played start to finish. It's a little clunky. It's not entirely fleshed out and does still have some what do you call it? Temporary assets. But it is a fully functioning game, and it even has galactic domination. Dark, Star Wars Battlefront 3. Hey, Crusader, if you don't believe me, hand to God, go do me a favor, look it up on YouTube real quick. Battlefront 3 Wii. It is entirely a thing. And basically what happened, so apparently Battlefront 3 was deep in development, and when Disney bought LucasArts, they were like, hey, by the way, fuck you, cancel the project. So Star Wars Battlefront 3 was maybe mere months away from release, and Disney basically pulled the trigger. So yeah, honestly, I've been thinking about doing that, Battlefront 3, so yeah, I could fucking, you know, why not? Just remind me. Listen, Dark, you gotta understand something about retail. This is the major rule when it comes to retail. GameStop, Walmart, Verizon, these are billion-dollar companies. You know why they're billion-dollar companies? Because they never spend money. That's why their systems are broken, their employees are retarded, and, you know, their stores are small and shitty. It's because they don't spend money. So do I have no inventory? Hell yeah. Am I killing myself? Most definitely. But you know what? I'm making money.
Hey.
You're right, they have 24 shelves. And come on, Dark, give me some credit. I have more than 2 shelves. I'm just not paying attention enough to count how many shelves I have, but I have more than 2. By the way, you know what I didn't do? Let me check the leaderboard. I should do this. So right now, Dark is at the top, Danny is 2nd place, and Crusader's at 3rd. Come on, Danny, Crusader. Oh, you son of a bitch! Gotcha, bitch. Your mother should have swallowed. What do you get, Dark? You get, oh, what? Yay, congrats. You bitch! Not so sneaky. We got new furniture? I also oh wait, is it because I don't have any more shelves? Do I need? I probably need another register. Oh. Of course, they're double the price. Why the fuck wouldn't they be? I also haven't unlocked, so I can't hire more employees yet. Well, that's why she's stealing, Dark, because she's a broke ass bitch. Ah, but see what I'm saying, Crusaders? So Battlefront 3 does exist. I should have looked in the van. That would have been smart. I'm not full of smart ideas.
Hello.
Hello? Yeah, maybe buy something, bitch. What kind of world doesn't have a credit card, Dark? A good world. What am I at right now? $28,000 in debt right now? No, oh god, no. 28,000. I want to hang myself. No, I'm sorry, 2,800. Well, you know, Dark, I always appreciate you guys sticking around with the channel. You know, I always appreciate you guys. That way I can give you claps that sound like masturbation. No, 2,800. I said 28,000 like an asshole. No, 2,800. I'm not, no. No, you know what it was? So, okay. A few months ago when I was still at Verizon, back March? Crusader, when did Doom Dark Ages release? What was that? Around that time, about a month or two prior, I upgraded my system. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to throw everything on my credit card. I'm not going to put anything on it. I'm going to pay it off little by little. Another reason why I say don't work for wireless, and for fuck's sake, please, for the love of God, do not work for commission. It is a miserable line of work. You son of a bitch. And Dark, I might. I mean, I did drink a little bit before the stream, so maybe? I will neither confirm nor deny. But anyway. Yeah, so I upgraded, and I was like, alright, cool. I'll pay it off little by little. That led to, oh shit, I gotta buy something else for my computer. Oh wait, now I gotta buy something for this. I gotta buy something for that. It always leads from one thing to something else. So after a while, I was like, you know, yeah, I ended up getting up there. So now when I got the new job, I started making a little bit more money. Now I'm like, all right, I really need to get rid of this credit card. So I have been basically cutting into my savings, which hurts, but I'm cutting into my savings in order to finally get rid of this credit card. You son of a bitch. I heard the noise.
Hello.
Oh, you fucking whore. Actually, Dark, funny you should say that. I think I have... Danny, what do I have? Like 30 terabytes in my system? Something like that, I think. I got about like 30 terabytes in my computer. That's not a joke. If I spend money on anything on my computer, it's hard drives. Just because I hate deleting stuff. And my dream is to turn my computer basically into Skynet. Just minus the evil AI. That console is literally, I just realized that the Xbox is called the Mega Hard. Oh yeah, when you play this, you get Mega Hard. Yeah, it's for gamers who want a mega erection. Oh, what? Why did they take up one whole shelf? Holy shit. They're so fucking big. Can I get rid of any of these boxes? Why is nobody buying huge Gus? Why does nobody want to play with Gus? Clearly nobody wants to play with Pugs either. There we go. Okay. I'm just trying to get rid of some of this inventory. Oh, you know what? Hold on. No. Yeah, alright, that's getting to be expensive. Wait, did the stream break? It did? What the fuck? When did that happen? How long ago did it show my Steam library? What the fuck?
Hi.
Like, I feel like I would have seen that flicker for a second because I don't, like, I'm monitoring it on my tablet and I don't see, like, I didn't see nothing. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what Dark saw.
Hello.
Oh, like I paid exactly. Oh, okay, I got you, Dark. But, anyway, what was I gonna say? No, Crusader, I did a whole overhaul. So originally I had a 2070, no, I had a 2080 Ti. That's what originally I had. And I decided that I needed to hate my life a little bit more. So I bought a 5070 Ti. And then I had to get, because of that, I had to get a new processor, new RAM, new motherboard. Yeah, so on bright side, I have a computer that will last me a few years. Downside, I'm broke. So, yeah, that's exactly what I said when I got my fucking credit card bill. By the way, fuck you. Yeah, exactly, Crusader. Yeah. That is true, Dark. That is true. You can't be happy if you gotta drop down your game settings. And besides, the other thing too is Dark Ages probably wouldn't have worked out that well on my old graphics card. At the very least for streaming. Oh shit. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Long morning. Oh no, I had a what the fuck was that? Come on, let me get you. Die, you fucking bitch. Back then, I don't remember what I had, but now I have 64 gigs of RAM. Dark, here's my thing. My rule of thumb is, it's not that I need it, it's that I like to have extra. Like, I'd rather not go with 16 gigs of RAM. I'd rather go, like, 30 or 60. Or 64, I should say. Just, you son of a bitch. Gonna take it out on you. By the way, I forgot to mention, you see these Goombas over here? Yeah, so... Hold on. Let me show you guys something. I've been forgetting about this. Hey, look who it is, Mr. Big Time Game Shop or whatever you're doing over there. Listen, I got some special stock, you know, stuff that may or may not have fallen off a truck. For $100, you can pop it open and with 3 retro games inside. So basically, loot box. Sure, let's open a bag. So this game, this costs me $100. I made back 40 bucks basically. Not worth it. And I can get a retro rack and sell retro games, but again, I don't really bother with retro because it's just more of a money hole. Exactly, Dark. This game's version of the black market is fucking loot boxes. I need inventory bad. Can I afford more? Can we afford employees? Oh, we can hire enforcers. They'll go beat the shit out of people for me. I really need to organize my shit. Like, I need to make this prettier. What about red? What do we have for the reds? We're barely selling those consoles. I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm gonna order 2 boxes that I can't afford. Fuck me! $80? Yeah, it's about on point. Look at that, $80 for a handheld, $40 for a little Game Boy Color. You know, hold on, I'm kind of a fucktard right now. Just trying to get rid of these boxes. It feels like, yeah, right, Borderlands feels like it. Oh yeah, Crusader, what do you get? What kind of graphics card? Oh, check the games. All right, so we got. Hold on, I can just tell you right now. So we got Axes and Demons, Many Tanks, which I'm assuming is World of Tanks, and that's supposed to be Dungeons and Dragons. Claw Me maybe, which I'm not sure what that's supposed to be again. Don't know what the fuck Angry Bull is supposed to be, and for some reason when I think bull, I think of porn. Especially the fact that it's named Angry Bull. Maybe like Angry Birds?
Hello.
That might be what the reference is. Oh, that's neat, Crusader. But, yeah, and I'm just trying to think. You motherfucker. Caught him right out the door. Just got this in, too. Anyway. I remember. So another thing too, Staples. They have this thing every year. It's usually, I want to say, during the summer. It's called the Bus Tour. And basically what it was all of the, it was you know what, for lack of a better word, it was a corporate circle jerk with a bunch of investors. That's what it was. So what they would do is they would take all of our top investors, throw them on a bus, and have them go cross country to visit all of our stores to see how they were doing. Oh no, I busted his ass out the door. That's why I said Dark. But So they would do this bus tour, and like I said, they'd have all their investors on this bus, and they'd bring them all the stores. And like I said, major circle jerk. If you ever wanted to see like the saddest display of a store kissing someone's ass, that was this event. Because what would happen is when the bus arrives, this was a luxury bus too, would arrive, you'd have all the employees, you'd have like 3 or 4 people standing by the front door, you'd have, you know, the manager nearby, and it was a guided tour. But it was like all these employees would stand there by the door. Oh, hey, welcome. Oh, let me shake your hand. Oh, it was like a big event. It was like as if, you know, you were meeting the family for the first time for some reason. You know what I mean? Like some stupid bullshit like that. And I remember I was outside. I was collecting carts. So as I'm going to walk back in, I happened to kind of like intercept the bus people. And as they're coming in, they're all shaking like, oh, hey, they're shaking my hand. And I'm like, oh, who the fuck are you? I'm like, hi, yeah, who the fuck are these people? Okay. Walk in, I'm like, bus tour? Like, yeah, bus tour. I'm like, fuck. So, when I tell you, I was tempted. My boss had all the corporate bigwigs in the back of the store, all sitting there. They had champagne. They're sitting there, oh, we're doing great. The store's... Again, circle jerk. While they're sitting there patting themselves on the back for a job well done, I had a customer sitting there screaming and yelling and bitching and moaning at the front of the store. I can't remember what she was complaining about, but she was bitching about something. And you do not know how tempted I was to look at this woman and say, ma'am, today is a very special day. You have a problem with my store. And that's fine. Do you see all those stuffed suits back there? Those are the corporate higher-ups, the CEOs. Go talk to them. I would have loved for all these rich, snobby douchebags just for 5 minutes to deal with some psycho fucking Karen and understand what we deal with. Just even get a hint. But, again, in the bid of being professional, kept my mouth shut and I just dealt with it. Oh, I should have done it, Dark. You're right. No, I should have. That would have been legendary. How many customers get the opportunity to go yell at a corporate higher-up? How many people? And how many employees get the opportunity of throwing their CEOs under the bus? Not many. I should have. I really fucking should have. But... And I remember, too, in preparation for this big event, my manager wanted us to organize the printers that were on the top of the shelf. And when I mean top, I mean top. Like, way the fuck up there that you needed a big-ass, like, metal stepladder to get up there. Now, what she wanted me to do was take down all the printers and then put them back up.
Hello.
Now, we had some printers that were little tiny ones, you know, 10, 15 pounds, nothing big. I can organize that, it's fine. And they would go up to 60 to 80 pound printers. I'm not a big guy. I'm a nerd. I'm a dork. This stupid bitch of a manager that we had wanted me to take down 70 to 80 pound printers and shift them over to another part of the shelf while on top of a ladder that's wobbly. When she told me, hey Nick, can you move those printers? I looked at her and fucking laughed. I was like, are you serious? You want to get your ass up here and move these? Do you see how heavy they are? Fuck that. I'm not falling off this goddamn ladder. Not for fucking minimum wage. Listen, the contract might say that you have to be able to lift at least 50 pounds, but they never mention 50 pounds on a goddamn wobbly-ass ladder. And honestly, my rule of thumb, I abide by the military rules when it comes down to, you son of a bitch! When it comes down to shit like that, where basically, you know, as they say, what's the line? You can deny an order if it's illegal, immoral, or just outright stupid. So, that's my rule of thumb when it comes down to work. If it's illegal, immoral, or just fucking retarded, I tell my boss no.
Wow.
then again, nowadays that I'm a corpo, it's kind of a different story. I don't really care anymore because now if we are ripping anybody off, we're ripping off major corporations. So I can sleep soundly at night knowing that, you know, a CEO lost $200 because they're just gonna make that back and then some the day after. See, that was the thing too at Verizon, where you're kind of manipulating people into buying shit, and I always felt bad selling to the elderly because, like, I know they're just there for help, and I have to sell to them. So I always felt bad trying to convince elderly people because I always felt like I was stealing from them. So yeah, that's why I say don't work in sales. It's just gonna crush your soul. Anyway, lads, we're at the time, so I'm gonna wrap it there. So thank you all for watching. Crusader, Dark, and Danny, thank you for joining me. Hope you have enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed my little trip down memory lane. Now, I'm only playing this game, honest to God, because I didn't know what else to play tonight. I think I'm honestly gonna start on BioShock. It's a series I've been meaning to play. I just didn't feel like playing it tonight, so probably gonna go ahead and start that come Friday if I don't find something else. So, lads, thank you everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. I said enjoyed. And yes, Dark, I am absolutely now a suit, just for a different industry. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, if you want to help out the channel, help out our community, bell icon and comments will help you to keep up to date with the channel whenever we go live or something new releases. Likes and dislikes help us get to new people. Other than that, feel free to check us out over on Discord if you have not done so already. We're over there. We're all nerds. Pop in and say hey. But with that said, I will see you all on the next one. Love you all. Have a fantastic night. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And I will see you on the next one. Have a good night, lads. See you later.